Hello, and welcome back to the Grunt Perspective. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing off my medium Alice pack and all the modifications that I've made to it. But before I do that, I just want to take a moment to talk about the status of the channel. And I just want to say thank you to everyone that's been watching and commenting. I've got almost 5,000 subscribers at the time of filming this video, and I've really only been doing this for about a month and a half right now, and I just never really anticipated this amount of traction to come from this. So thank you to everyone who's watching and subscribed and liking and all that. I've got lots of content planned. I do work a full-time job, so at the time of the last video, it's been like 8 or 9 days since I posted a video, so I do apologize for that, but I'm putting out as much as I can, and I really appreciate all the traction that I've been getting from you guys. But getting into the actual video, I wanted to show off my medium Alice pack. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw this on my story a couple days ago, and I had lots of people respond to me and say that they wanted me to do a full video breakdown of it. So I'm happy to do that, and I would love to show it off. So the medium Alice pack is, I think, a really good example, or really the medium and the large Alice pack is a really good example of the classic military trying to fix things that aren't broken and just making them worse. Any of the current issue packs and stuff like that for like the general like straight leg infantry guys, most of them are pretty horrible. They all have these super cheap like plastic frames, and like, you know, maybe they're not that bad at the time of new manufacture and whatnot, but by the time that 3 or 4 soldiers or Marines have used them, they end up being pretty beat up. So what a lot of people do is they purchase their own packs if their unit will allow it, and one of the cheapest options on the market is the Alice pack. And you know, this was obviously old issue. It works great. Just like I said, you know, it works fine, but we got to try to make it better, and in the process we just ruined it by putting all the Molly and stuff all over the bags and whatnot. So the Alice pack is absolutely awesome. The medium or large, but this one specifically is a medium. It's a really good mid-weather pack. If you get into like real cold weather or something like that, then you'll probably need a bigger pack, but the Alice pack, depending on what you have to carry, obviously, is going to be a real good 3 to 4, 5, 6, 7 day pack, whatnot, and then that's going to be depending on like your resupply and whatnot. So really, if you've got good plans worked out and things like that, your Alice pack is going to be really awesome for you. So we'll talk about the mods now. First obvious modification is going to be the concealment blanket. All this is just like a 4 foot by 5 foot square of a fishing net that has jute tied into it, and every once in a while I hit this with a coat of paint, green, brown, or tan, be it whatever, just to make sure it stays nice and fresh. But this blanket is attached hard to the frame, 2 points at the top and 1 on each side. And then other than that, it just drapes over the pack. And the way that I have it controlled here is with bungee cords. So I got 1 bungee cord here and 1 bungee cord here, and they run down to the bottom of the frame here. Now, I know what you're thinking. What if I want to get stuff out of my pack? And I have this thing rigged up in a manner so I can access most of the stuff on the outside of my pack. You can see I can get at this pocket, this pocket, this pocket, and then it's the same on this side. I can get at all those 3 pockets. So really the only stuff that I can't access is obviously the main compartment of the pack, my top pouch, my pouch here, and then my center pouch here. So what I usually do is I keep all of my quick access things inside of these exterior pockets. Like I'll keep warming layers, something that I can grab quick while I'm in a patrol base or something, like a hygiene kit, a rifle cleaning kit, keep a warming layer down there. Maybe up here I got to change the socks or something like that. And then going to the other side here, I'll have, you know, more rifle, like my Fieldcraft kit maybe or something like that, iPro, hygiene gear, socks, underwear, things like that. So I can really get at all that stuff without having to tear apart the whole pack. But that being said, it's very easy to do it, which I will do now. So all you got to do, lay the pack down, come here, unclip, and these just hang, and then the whole thing just goes like that. So for the rest of the video, I'm going to leave this like this just to you know, show off the pack. But as you can see, this looks like a Malice pack. If you've ever seen a Malice pack Gen 2, that's what I was trying to emulate when I built this a while ago, and I really love it. I love the Malice pack, but the Malice pack is a large pack. It's a field pack. This is something that is just a little bit smaller, but still maintains all the capabilities, like having pouches on the outside and all of the benefits of the Malice pack without the really large size. That being said, I love the Malice pack, but it is big. So first mod, well, I guess the second mod, but the first like big mod is the Malice pack frame, belt, and the shoulder straps. And this is going to be the most expensive part of this mod. Like the pack itself is only like 50 bucks, and then I'm throwing a $110 frame and like basically almost $250 worth of suspension to the pack itself. So seems kind of silly, but it's a really good investment. And this frame, I only have one of these frames. I put it on this pack, and then when I need to, I put it on my Malice pack. So the reason why I like this over the standard Alice frame though, and this is going to be subjective, but the standard Alice frame isn't long enough for my body to clear body armor. When I have my plate carrier on, I can use the hip belt with the Malice frame. With the Alice frame, I cannot do that. So that is the reason why I go for this. I went for the standard straps, but I did go for the ergonomic upgrade on the waist belt just because it has Malice. And you can see I have two canteens, one attached to each side, and it works out very well. I've got no complaints. It's the most comfortable pack that I've ever worn with or without armor. That being said, you know, like the Mystery Ranch and like the hiker style backpacks, they're definitely going to form fit better if you're not wearing armor. Now, if you wear body armor often, which, you know, I do, having a frame that's meant to go around your body armor is going to be much more worth it. And then when you don't have it, when you don't have your plate carrier on, like you don't really notice it. It feels just as good. So super awesome frame. I would highly recommend it if you got the money for it. It's about 110 bucks, but it's an investment, and they're awesome. I've got nothing but good things to say about them. Now we'll talk about the front of the pack now. And if you're wondering, the concealment blanket is just attached with zip ties at the top and on the sides. Easy. Now, on the bottom, you'll see that I have a isomat, and the way that I have that attached is just with bungee cords. They wrap around these bottom loops in the Alice pack, attach to the frame, wrap around the isomat, and then they attach down to the frame again. Works great. Also helps the pack sit up nice and straight so you can get stuff out of your pack and whatnot. But that's pretty simple for the bottom there, just bungee cords. Now, on the sides, you can see I have a 2-quart canteen on each side, and on those 2-quart canteens and on all of the Malice clips, the Alice clips, I've done the zip tie mod where you put a zip tie through the end of the Malice clip through the loop, and then you run it back through the clip itself to keep that thing permanently closed so it cannot come out under any circumstance. With the exception of this 2-quart canteen pouch, I have that one able to take off, so I could take it off and run with it if I needed to. Everything else has that mod done to it though. Now, attached to the 2-quart canteens, you'll see on this side I have hard pointed a bungee cord that runs under the pouches here, under these little retaining loops here, and then it is attached on the other side to the other 2-quart canteen. And then I've done the same thing. I can already tell that there's going to be a lot of noise from me sliding the pack around on the table, so I apologize for that. But I do have a microphone now, so hopefully that sounds a little bit better. But I've got the same thing attached on the back side, just with a bowline knot and a bungee cord attached to the canteens. And that's really the only problem with Alice gear, or in my opinion, is that it's floppy. And you definitely feel it if you don't secure the pouches in some way like this. And these are just flopping around, but it keeps them nice and solid, nice and tight, and works out well. Next mod is the buckles. I just replace all of the old metal hardware with buckles, and then in addition I put a zip tie in between the buckles so this little tab will never fall off. That isn't something that I ever thought I would need to do, but lo and behold, I went to the field and I came back without one of these one time, so from then on I do it. But the buckles are super awesome, makes your pack much more modern, a lot easier to use, and I've done it to all the pouches and the main cinch straps of the pack, so I really love that. Now, getting into all of this shit on the top that really makes this like pretty heavily modified. On both sides, I have a Tactical Tailor large GP pouch, one that has MOLLE and one that has a pouch on the front of it, but the internal dimensions are the same. No particular reason for the one with the pouch and one without the pouch, but it is nice. I usually keep like batteries or something inside here. I would like to have an outside pouch on both sides, but I just don't have another one of these, so I'm sure I'll buy one at some point. But either way, these are just attached with the Malice clips to the Alice webbing, and then on the very bottom I have a piece of 550 cord that is securing it to, or I actually have a zip tie that is securing through both of the bottom of the Malice clips, just to a loop on the side of the pack right there to keep it from bouncing around too much. It still does some, but I don't really notice it, so it doesn't really bother me. And I have the same thing done on both of these pouches. All the pouches on the outside is like a military pack thing. You don't see this in civilian packs, and the reason for is like being able to access things without opening up your whole pack. So things on the outside, chow, warming layers, tarps, poncho liners, map gear, equipment, grenades, magazines, things like that. It's just all kinds of stuff that you want to be able to get to quickly, or you're going to get to often. So that's why I love like the Malice pack configuration. But that covers these two pouches. Next, I'll talk about these two. These are both Tac Shield small GP pouches, but you can use any pouch that's going to be 3x3. That is 3 columns wide by 3 columns tall, but it has to have the Tactical Tailor type webbing where the whole back of the pouch is just covered in webbing and there's no gaps in it. You can kind of see it right there because you only use the bottom 2 loops of webbing, and you just run Alice clips through there. Let me open this up. You just run Alice clips through there on the bottom 2, and it attaches just like normal to the top, just like that. And you can see that zip tie mod that I was talking about now. Keeps it sturdy. You know, it shakes around a little bit, but it's not that big of a deal once the blanket is over the top and whatnot. So these both have the same thing, and then this one in the center, to be honest, I don't know where I got it from. It was rolling around inside of my extra gear, but It is just again, it's a 3-column tall by 4-column wide pouch with the tactical tailor type webbing that I have 2 clips in the center, excuse me, and then this row of webbing where the straps of the Alice pack run is sewed completely shut. So you have to use 550 cord here, and you just tie it out to the next available loop of Alice webbing, and then that keeps that nice and secure there. But yeah, these pouches I usually use for quick access things like iPro, hygiene gear, anything that you could think of that you want to get at quickly. And then I got a little identification placard on the front, which I normally have a patch on there, but either way. Now, big mod I think a lot of people are going to be interested in. I've never seen anyone else do this, but all this is a USMC assault pouch, and you can see all you need to do to make this happen is you need to take the buckle off, and then you weave this through the actual MOLLE on the pouch. And then to retain it, to keep it from sliding back and forth, you put the end of the MOLLE, there's the piece of the Alice pack, you just snap that right over, and I've done that on both sides, of course, and it keeps it on top there, nice, perfect. Now, with it not buckled, obviously it flops around like this, but with the straps pulled tight, it doesn't move. It's nice and solid, and it keeps all that stuff there, keeps it controlled, and I love it. Obviously, I've covered all the Coyote stuff with a dusting of green spray paint, and works out well for me. So, I believe that's all the modifications of the pack itself. Already talked about the buckles and whatnot, but again, just to kind of praise the Alice pack or the medium, it's a really great mid-level pack, like the couple days, 4 or 5 days, up to, you know, however long, however much food and water you can carry. It's really awesome. It's good size, it keeps it light, but it's not too small where, you know, I see a lot of people that just don't have enough stuff with them. You know, it'll be depending on the weather and whatnot, but you know, you can really go for a good amount of time with this pack, and I love it for that. The last thing I'll talk about is I have my shoulder straps not just attached to the frame. I have them also attached to these little D-rings in the pack itself. I've seen that these can start to tear, and I've been doing this as long as I've had it. I've had this pack for almost 7, 8 years now, and I haven't torn it out yet, and I've really put a lot of weight inside this thing, so I'd recommend you do that as well. Either way, the medium Alice is great. If your unit is okay with you using it, I would really highly recommend it. Again, thanks for all the support, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.